Okay, so for those of you who may know and for those of you who may not know, this is Oscar season, meaning that a lot of movies that come out around this time are making their case for why, or sometimes why not, their movies should be nominated for specific Oscar categories. Well, this year that kind of started in July with, Barbie and Oppenheimer, because they definitely have made cases in various categories for what they should be nominated for. But this movie here, The Holdovers, 3 of the actors and actresses in this film have deliberately made a very, very solid case of why not only they should be nominated, but quite possibly why they should win. So I want to get to talking about that now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my review of The Holdovers. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for The Holdovers, starring Paul Giamatti, Dominic Sessa, Divine Joy Randolph, Brady Hepner, and was directed by Alexander Payne. And our story follows a teacher who is stuck over this Christmas break with basically this group called The Holdovers, which are people who are left by their parents during Christmas time, and they have to stay in the school, and so he has to supervise them. And basically what ends up happening is 4 of the young men actually get to go away for reasons that I'm not going to get into, but he has to stay here and really it's not really a mentorship, but he has to, supervise this one kid played by Dominic Sessa, who is a big outcast, who is a big pain in the ass, according to Paul Giamatti's character. And of course, Dominic Sessa does not like Paul Giamatti's character and vice versa. And these two just really start to form I mean, friendship could be the word for it, but I would definitely say more of an appreciation ship for both of their lives and both of what they've been through. And it's just it turns into a very beautiful, well played out story, like something that really started as a very simple premise, but then just becomes something so emotionally heavy and just so fascinating character-wise that you really just start to, get so attached to these characters and get attached to what's going on in the story here. And Divine Joy Randolph is played by, that's the actress, and she plays a character who is basically the chef of the school. She's having to stay over the Christmas break because she doesn't necessarily want to go anywhere due to family reasons that haunt her. And that's basically the gist of this plot. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's not anything in this movie that I can point out that I specifically did not like, because shockingly enough, and I say shockingly because I thought that this movie would be good, but not this good, I was absolutely just overwhelmed by everything in this film, and I absolutely adored it all. So that I'm just going to get that out the way, and I'm just going to talk about what I absolutely adored about this film, because it was a lot. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting with Paul Giamatti, this man was absolutely tremendous as this character in this film. I thought that not only did Paul Giamatti give one of the best performances of his career, but this damn near might be one of my favorite performances of the year. And so far, in my top 3, it was Sophie Wilde and Cillian Murphy. Off the top of my head, I think Leo was probably number 3, but Paul Giamatti has literally snuck his way into my top 3, and I think he might be creeping up to number 1, because watching this man work was an absolute joy and a pleasantry that I did not expect to just enjoy so much throughout this entire film. I mean, this dude is playing a character that is supposed to be very hated by the students, and honestly, he seems to even hate himself sometimes, because he can't seem to just break social barriers sometimes with other people. Like, he just is very stuck in his ways. He's a very old school type of teacher, and he's very hell-bent on the values that the school has taught him, and so he tries to teach it, put it into these students here, but they're just not responding in the way that he wants them to. And then after some point, he really just doesn't care anymore, and this character has so many layers and so much different characteristics to show you throughout the film, and you really start to see how similar him and Dominic Sessa's characters are. But Paul Giamatti, he just did such an incredible job, not only delivering so many such high, eloquently vocabulary lines to the audience, and honestly, I think they do it in a way where you can really understand what a lot of these words mean if you just put them in context. He has a very broad vocabulary that I wish I could personally use to describe just how amazing this guy's performance is, but I'm just going to use the words that I know because I would make a fool out of myself trying to use his vocabulary. But this dude here, not only the facial expressions themselves, but just the way he really slowly peels back the layers of his character throughout the film, and the way you really just slowly get to know them more and more through social interactions and through just stories that they tell, and even through just little small interactions that they have with side characters. You really just start to get to know these characters in a way you never knew them in the beginning, and it really just becomes such a beautiful thing. Like, Paul Giamatti absolutely destroyed this role. He absolutely demands your attention on the screen. He absolutely owns this character, and honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, him and Dominic Sessa, who was playing the kid, I don't know the character's name, but he was playing the kid who was stuck in the school with him. This dude, him and Paul Giamatti were going back and forth in a battle of wits that ended up just creating the most harmonious music ever. I mean, ever is a pretty strong word, but it was, what I mean by harmonious music is basically like these two, watching these two perform on screen was like watching two composers just put together the most beautifully sounded harmony you've ever heard in your life, and they pulled it off so well. Watching these two work was absolutely tremendous. Dominic Sessa, for this to be this kid's first feature film, and for him to be so damn good, is absolutely ridiculous. Like, off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody's first feature film where they killed it like this, but I promise you, Paul Giamatti 100% deserves, 1,000,000% deserves a Best Actor nomination. Dominic Sessa 1,000,000% deserves a Best Supporting Actor nomination, and these two together truly put on one of the best shows I have had a pleasure of watching this year performance-wise. Like, these two were absolutely tremendous together. Their chemistry was off the walls. Their characters were just so packed with so many different layers and so many different character values and so many different emotions, so many different painful ways to show their backstories and painful ways to show their emotions and their characters. And it's all through the same thing, all through basic small interactions with one another, small interactions with other people. And it's just like they feel like such outcasts in the world, but they can't necessarily show each other their true selves because they're just not used to being that vulnerable before. And it's just so nice to see throughout the film these two grow closer and closer together. And like I said, I can't necessarily say I could call it a friendship. Maybe I could in a sense, but I would definitely call it an appreciation-ship for each other, one that they definitely did not have in the beginning of this movie, but by the end of it, you were just absolutely overjoyed with what you have seen from these two being pulled off. Devine, and I hope I'm saying her name right, Divine Joy Randolph, she been killing it for a little minute now. She was in the series Only Murders in the Building, and then she's also been in movies like Dolomite Is My Name and The Lost City, which The Lost City is not that good of a movie, but she was pretty good in it. I enjoyed her. And in this movie here, her character gets to absolutely shine in ways that I did not think her character was going to be able to, but she absolutely killed it. She plays a mom who had lost her son, and basically she's just staying over Christmas break because they went to school together. Her son went to the same school that she works at, and that's her only memory of her son. And just throughout the film, like I said, you are just introduced to different layers and different values and different characteristics of these characters that you just really don't expect to see. But throughout the film, you really appreciate the in-depth just look at these characters that you're getting, and it's really just all coming together for an amazing story. They really created some beautiful music here, and there were so many different lines that I enjoyed. One of them being, it's not a big spoiler, but one from Paul Giamatti's character says, like, world is decay as life is to perception. I thought that was very beautifully said. There's one line in the trailer that, honestly, when you see it in the context of the film, it hits like 10 times as hard.
I find the world a bitter and complicated place, and it seems to feel the same way about me. I think you and I have this in common.
It's just, there's so much beautifully written material in this film. There's, like I said, the vocabulary on these people are ridiculous. Mainly Paul Giamatti and Dominic Sessa. They are two brilliant guys, and it is a battle of wits literally the entirety of the film, and they are just really pulling it off so well. I cannot credit Alexander Payne enough for directing just an absolute masterclass, in my opinion, of a holiday film. I mean, this movie is set around Christmas time, so it definitely counts as a holiday film, especially if those who count Die Hard as a holiday film. But no, this is 100% a holiday film. This is one of the more special holiday films I have ever seen. One of my friends literally said that this is a very special film that you really do not get to experience anymore. In just, you know, the updated times like these, you don't really get films like these anymore, where characters really just sneak in your heart, and you really get so many different life lessons and so many values that you just never really, I mean, maybe you had them before you walked in the theater, but I mean, honestly, after, you would appreciate them a lot more. And just the sense of being lonely around the holidays, being vulnerable around people, feeling like an outcast. I mean, there are so many different topics and subjects that this movie hits over the head, and Alexander Payne does a very beautiful job of making it known, or just putting it out there. Another thing that I have to credit, beyond just the impeccable performances in the film, the directing and the writing, the score of this movie was very beautiful. Like I said, these people here were just creating music and beautiful symphonies throughout the entirety of this film. It was so beautiful to watch. It was damn beautiful to look at. I don't know if this movie can be nominated for Best Cinematography. I don't know how broad of a category that is, how many people they really let into that category to be nominated for, but it'd be nice, because this was a very beautifully looking film. This was a film that really puts you in this, I don't know the year that this movie is set, but like the 1940s or 50s or whatever, or maybe somewhere around there, 50s or 60s, but this is a movie that is so beautifully shot. It is so beautifully just put together. The entire, looking at this thing is just so beautiful. It puts you right in the time span that this movie was set in, and you just get an immense appreciation for what is going on screen. I want to credit the other kids in this film too, who are in the movie for not as long as I thought they would be, but honestly, it's not really about them. It's really about the relationship between Dominic Sessa and Paul Giamatti and Davine Joy Randolph. Those three are the main players in this film here. They do a phenomenal job. The other kids in the movie add pretty good layers to the same kind of topics, just loneliness, being left over the holidays and things like that. But then we really get into Paul Giamatti and Dominic Sessa's character arcs throughout the rest of the film, and they just do such a great job capturing so many different emotions, so many different layers of these characters. And Dominic just, I really can't credit Dominic Sessa enough, because like I said, this is the kid's first feature film, and to do something like this is just unheard of. I mean, this kid was damn near doing some DiCaprio-esque acting, really just capturing all the anger and all the rage that this character has just towards the world. This kid really pulled off an immensely beautiful performance, and I truly think this is a movie that a lot of people should go see. This is truly a movie that I think is just, like my friend said, it's just extremely special. It's so rare to see movies like this in the world nowadays, and this is a film that I feel like everybody can experience, and everybody can get something out of it, and everyone can enjoy it for what it is. And like I said, it's just truly harmonious music, and honestly, guys, it's damn near one of my favorite films of the year. These actors and actresses definitely gave some of my favorite performances of the year. I can't credit them enough. The director, Alexander Payne, literally was just showing his ass off in this entire film, which is a great thing. Well, it's a great thing. But look, guys, for all those reasons and so many more, I'm going to give The Holdovers a 4.75 out of 5 stars. All right, guys, so The Holdovers, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more, guys. I really appreciate you for watching. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.